Today is a very important day for any entrepreneur. Very, very important day for any entrepreneur. Greatly appreciate all the support. We are live and going to start streaming a lot more, my friends. We have signed up for Twitch and we're going to be streaming on Twitch also. We'd like to obviously shout out YouTube for this platform. We're trying to get back to where we was at before, my friends. What is that monetization right now? We are not monetized, but we're keeping our faith, my friends. Stay focused. Stay focused. The reason why I put that stop sign up there, 35 and a 36, is because you can't justify going 36 miles per hour if the speed limit is 35. My friends, you have an opportunity to do so. But if you think that the way somebody treats you is going to be justification in the court of law, you might as well forget about that, my friends. You have to follow the rules, and you can talk about those grievances. You can always write grievances, but you can't act on the way somebody treats you because they might see it totally different. If it's up to a judge, you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you're trying to build an alibi, even if you're an abused wife. You plan on doing something to your husband. Now, we don't promote violence at all on this page. We come from a good family. We come from good people. So we just don't promote violence, my friends. But we talk tough topics. And a lot of times I think these bigger platforms, they kind of get it misconstrued, saying, what's going on here? Oh, it's litigation. It's the Constitution of the United States of America. It's that very important. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. If you're somewhere in the world where it's not morning, good evening. I see your comments coming in already. I greatly appreciate your comments. This is where it counts most. Just crossing my mind, thinking about that Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj had some choice words for Jay-Z, saying, yes, he owes her about $200 million. I don't see this as something that's actually real because she would have made a song about it. I mean, we're not going to just talk about something that you tweeted about or put on X. Remember, as an entrepreneur, or if you abuse husband or abuse wife, you cannot go, my friends. 36 in a 35 mile per hour zone and expect authorities to say, well, he doesn't have to pay, he or she does not have to pay for that ticket. Looks like a tree went down last night during the storms. Very beautiful day this morning. I hope you have a positive attitude. My friends, I have to tell you, if you really want to stay focused, you got to get out of that poor diet. I'm not saying I have a great diet, my friends. I'm struggling myself. I love fast food. And loving that fast food is just a poor man's diet. I can't do it anymore, friends. I have to stop it. Every time I want to stop and get... Now, I'm not against getting a large fry from McDonald's. But if you're really serious about being that person that has $100,000 or $200,000, I'm not selling you a dream and telling you you're going to be worth $50 million. I'm trying to reach out to the masses of the people. As I reach out to the masses of it, if you want to know where I'm going, I'm headed to work, my friend. Remember, school zones. If you're flying through here at 50 miles per hour, it's going to be hard to justify why you got caught with that joint in the ashtray in the school zone. So it's not just being legal. If you go to cities like Atlanta, it's 100,000 scammers. My friends, most of them will never see a jail cell in their lives. It's about saying that, yes, my friends, yes. It is about saying that, yes, my friends, we all live by rules and regulations. Somebody might see it totally different. The judge might see it totally different. The magistrate might see it totally different. They might not see it your way. So you have to, even if you're a scammer, you're one of those people that go to the bank and say, hey man, I can put some money into your bank account, let it sit, I come back in 2 weeks and we'll withdraw it all and we'll split it. Your bank account will be messed up if you have 2 or 3 bank accounts. Now, I think one of the banks was, I can't think of the banks that would usually use them, but it could be Wachovia, a Federal Bank. And these scammers know how to do that. And for the most part, most of them never get caught. And some of them get caught, pay the restitution. Guys, the new luxury is the Federal Bureau of Investigations. I keep saying that. We come out here every day and work. The legal person gets the short end of the stick. The people that sell narcotics, respects to the cartels and whoever else, the American government, the UPS that ships something today that's illegal, they all get all the perks. The average person like me and you, we don't get any perks. I'll be reading some of these comments. I'll be reading some right now. I greatly appreciate all of the support. Not many comments right now. Seems like we got a pretty fair feed. So we're trying to move forward to that spectrum of legal. We have to stay focused. And obviously I'd like to shout out my beautiful mother this morning. I just sent her a few messages. And even though people fall short of what you want them to do, it means that maybe you're a control freak. Maybe I'm a control freak. Maybe I want to control everybody's actions. Or maybe I just don't want to live in a place, especially poor people, need to stop, in my opinion, getting these vicious dogs. My friends, if you're on the come up, right, and you have house insurance, and then you have this vicious dog, that's a liability. When I bought a home in Charlotte, I realized that my next door neighbor, I had this beautiful white pit bull, and I realized my next door neighbor had a baby. I love my dog, but I realized it was a liability. It's a thing about liability. It's something that can wake up in the morning, go to work, and possibly bring money home. You should never interfere with that, because that is legal allocation. That's a person. If you're breeding a dog, it's a different story. If you're going to make money off a dog, it's a different story. But if you're just housing a dog around children and kids, you have a pit bull in your front yard, and you got your car parked there, guys, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand when people are trying to advance in life, why do we have these vicious dogs? Have all these vicious dogs that can possibly get loose and hurt a kid. Now you're liable, but you're not even the owner. So you think about America's system where it's 1 million lawsuits in grocery stores every year, slip and falls, right? It doesn't matter if somebody discriminates against you. It's no legal law that a lawyer is actually going to call you back. So if you call Photography Plug, you want to talk for an hour, my friends, I can't talk for an hour because you can't talk to an attorney for an hour. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. You cannot talk. You can't talk to an attorney for free, right? You could talk to the secretary, but you won't speak to that attorney because he knows there's going to be a lot of people calling and a lot of people wasting his or her time. So that is a reality when somebody says, well, I tried to call photography plug and talk to them for a whole hour. My friends, I don't have an hour to talk. The new generation is streaming live all night long. And so when those checks come in, you say, well, how did they make $20 million? They were streaming. Things change. You have to revolve with time. We can't be doing the same thing we were doing 5 years ago, better yet, 2 nights ago. We have to adjust to the future, upgrade. Upgrade your phone, upgrade your system, upgrade whatever you have to upgrade to be a part of the modern society, of the future. Now, I don't think social media likes are intelligent, but I think they're advanced. All right? So they're using that technology to be advanced, and then they turn around and see their checks, and next thing you know, the checks are $5-6 million because they're streaming. It's not about just a still photography anymore. It's not about just a video of a celebrity anymore. People are actually starting to say, hey, we're going to stream all day long. Get the best technology you have, meaning the best cell phone that you can get, and stream as long as you possibly can. I mean, if you go to Twitch right now, you'll probably see India Love and DDG. They were on Twitch, seemed like all last night. It is a beautiful morning. We're getting close to Friday. We will have some things that you'll be able to see. Excuse me. Shouts out to Fendi and Fabulous. They're coming. We'll probably go live from a distance, meaning that you notice why this stream is not any copyright infringements. You just hear my voice, you see the video. But if you go into a club and it has all that music, my friends, you're not going to get paid any money because you can't use that music, obviously, in the background. I know you guys probably saying, yes, we already know that photography plug. Sometimes we have to review things and understand. They say, well, why won't he go inside? We got to stay at a safe distance, stay away from all that copywritten music. But today marks another day of entrepreneurship. Now remember, you cannot go 36 miles per hour and 35 miles per hour speed limit. You can't speed through the school zone and get pulled over. Now, you might do it 100 times and never got pulled over. But once you got pulled over, you can't go to court and say, Your Honor, I was trying to rush my kids to school. They said, well, you still got to pay that fine. Guys, this is about capitalism. This whole system, the Federal Bureau, capitalism. People say, well, if the rich give the poor all the money, it just end up back in the rich hand. Exactly wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. Money is worthless, my friends, if it does not circulate. Money is worthless if it does not circulate. So we have to always think about these things when we talk about being an entrepreneur, being one of the trendsetters, being a streamer. Congratulations to Kas and I, which we'll probably do a whole episode on that, making the Time magazine at the young age of 22. I don't know how many 22-year-olds, period, has ever made Time magazine. So that was a great accomplishment for not just him, for everybody that paved the way for Kai to share that success. You can always go to $ at photography plot. I thought she was an impoverished person. She's not. She's just walking a dog this morning. So I'll be reading some of these comments. Living in the U.S., no life, brother. Really don't understand why people don't get out of weird country. Well, some people can't afford it. So we all don't, like in particular, I would love to be in Atlanta right now. I mean, Atlanta is not the best place in the world. It's a little cute little dog. But I would love to be in a bigger city right now. But have you heard the story? There was a gentleman that actually he was into trying to sell his property for diamonds. So this gentleman said, yes, I need to sell my property. I need to get out here. So he sold his property and he went all around the world searching for diamonds, and he found a few. Then he got a telegram back at his home saying that the people that bought his house found a few diamonds in his yard. And they realized that the property that he sold was a diamond mine. So in a sense, he searched the entire world and had all of those diamonds right there at home. And I think a lot of times we're searching for things that really don't exist. We're searching for relationships that don't help us. We're searching for jobs that don't employ us. Like this morning, I love to go to Chick-fil-A, and I can this morning, but I'm not going to. And the reason is I cannot afford a poor diet. I cannot continue to eat fast food. I can't continue on the path of destruction, not just for my body. I'm not saying Chick-fil-A is bad for you. I'm saying the amount that it costs every day to go. I have to figure out another way. We have to figure out another way. Now, I'm not saying be 100% legal. We'll lose. These companies cheat every single day. You think about Sean Diddy Combs, born in 69 or 70, Jay-Z. Every day, tax, more gas, their parents paid more. It's a society that is just not fair. That is the reality of what life is. That it's not fair. We can't, this is one of my problems, and it might be one of your problems, is that fair, we're asking for something fair, it's not going to be fair. So we have to learn how to be very articulate in the way we are not honest. If we come out here every day and we're honest, or we open our hearts out to everybody, my friends, we're going to be hurt every single day. So we should wake up in the morning knowing it's not going to be fair. That this society will not allow, it was not built on fair. It was actually built, this very new society was built on slavery. We talked to some illegal immigrants the other day. They couldn't even speak English. So they try to diminish the power of that American citizen by saying, well, if you don't know, well, the judge, I'm sure, would say, are they legal or are they illegal? We have an individual in the White House that is actually helping us now. He's improving the way you think about that great American citizenship. All of the money that was stole, I think Ibrahim Tyree, he said it very well. He said, France, give me back what you owe. Don't just apologize. Give me back what you owe. And that's exactly what we're asking this government to do. If you want to talk about illegal immigration reform, well, give us back what you owe. Give us back all the money that you allowed these illegal immigrants to come here to take all the jobs. And then you just want to send them back, put them in a cell, well, a luxury lifestyle, my friends. Then you have to feed them now. So you're not getting them out the country. You're putting them in a building. You're housing them. They wouldn't have housing. And most of them don't come here rich. So they're not homeowners. So the reality of the fact is that the American government is looking out for these people very well. So it's a promotion. As this young gentleman here is up early exercising. We have to say, yes, my friends, that we will be successful no matter what color you are, no matter what demographic you come from, no matter what your net worth is today. That entrepreneurship, even when you're at the job place, my friends, even when you're at the job place, you have to have that entrepreneur spirit. Because people, the future will run laps around you. So I posted something on IG yesterday. It affected me more than it affected anybody else. it was going to hurt me more. Sometimes you cannot win that war. It's no use to fighting a battle. I did the same thing before the illegal immigration reform when I was out in California. I got into it with some illegal immigrants and I took it down because I knew at that point that I could post it, but I could not win I could win the battle, but I couldn't win the war. So welcome all you beautiful people that are here this morning with us. We as entrepreneurs understand it's very important to maintain your legal status. No matter where you're at, they don't allow us to be illegal. I can't just do anything illegal right now, or unfortunately, I go to jail. That is a reality of the exact thumbnail that I used. We cannot afford to go 36 and a 35, but if you go 35 miles per hour, you'll be left behind. It was a quote I seen that said, if you wait until the road is safe, my friends, you'll never reach your destination. I think that was a very good quote. It was an African proverb almost. If you wait until, and I always like to quote Al Capone. I'm going to start quoting our great American citizens, the Donald Trumps, our Al Capones, the people who shaped American history. We talk about Reginald Lewis, the first black billionaire that had to use a whiter face so people would invest in his company. Reginald Lewis did become a billionaire, but he didn't become a billionaire with using black faces. When you go to South Africa or wherever country you go to, on the brochure, it's usually lighter faces. When you get there, you realize, oh, it's beautiful black people, and I love them even more so. But on the brochure, they're going to show families that they're trying to get capitalism off. It's all about the money. It's all about the cash. It's all about the capitalism. It's all about moving forward in a society, whatever society, if you're in Europe, if you're in Africa, wherever you're at, it's about that capitalism if you're in a city. So we think about that Al Capone quote when Al Capone said, you can get a lot further with a nice word and a gun than you can just with a nice word. He said, I come from a bad neighborhood. Mr. Al Capone shaped America's press. Al Capone shaped America's press by saying that. So I think we give our credit to some of the wrong people. If our president has 34 convictions and Sean Diddy Combs only has 2, is that a fair society? I personally think, and I'll be reading some of these comments. I'll give you a second. It is 6:50 a.m. What's up on this morning? Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're successful today. I hope you're healthy today. I hope you're kind of staying away from that fast food also. Guys, I just kind of started this. I've kind of lost, men, we want to be, me personally, I want to be about 220 some odd pounds. That is not a reality when you start correcting your diet. This gentleman here seems to be a fit gentleman. You see the people that wake up early, they say the early bird always gets the worm. Not necessarily. Not if you're a little bit too popular. If you're a little bit too popular and your resume is too much, they're going to say, is this guy here just to pick on our situation, or is he here to make money? You know, if Michael Jordan came beside you and started working, you'll be saying, is Michael just playing and toying with me? Not necessarily. Michael made his money back in the days, Ice Cube made his money back in the days way more influential than Kendrick Lamar could ever understand before social media. Those older people, Dr. Dre, made his money billions way before social media. So we're kind of stuck in the rut of streaming now. Stuck in the rut of being an entrepreneur. Stuck in the rut of saying that, yes, we're going to be successful regardless. No matter what we do as humans in a human society, we have to say to ourselves that yes, no matter what we do, we won't stop. We keep going, we go forward. And you probably just watched me walk a mile or two. Friends, we might have to walk 100 more. We might have to walk 1,000 more. We might cover the whole world, and everybody says no. But I think in that, like our great friend Kobe Bryant, and I did want to discuss that. As American society, I will change that. Kobe Bryant and Gigi were not the only two people. I was actually out there with the Federal Bureau of Investigations when he crashed. I went out to Calabasas to represent the black people, to see it for myself, that eyewitness. That is a sick society to only recognize two people. Kobe Bryant and Gigi, we love them to death. They were no better than anybody else on that plane. And that is one thing I want to accomplish in my life, is to say. And usually I don't go up under this bridge because people use narcotics so much that they clean it up. So I will give the city credit on that. So I can make it through there today. But Kobe Bryant and Gigi were not the only people on that plane, and we need to put that to rest right now. Every person deserves a statue that was on that plane, not just Kobe Bryant and Gigi. That is a shame of American society to dare say somebody is better, not just in life, but in death. We need all those people to have a statue because they deserved it. They all perished. The pilot, the passengers, Gigi's friends, they deserve to be recognized. They deserved to, just like if you wake up in the morning and you say, I want a fair share of this fair economy. You show up at work, they say, no, not for you. It's like when I was in Los Angeles. They said, well, my friend, everybody else can use the plugs, but don't let him use them. When I was in Atlanta, when Trump got his mug shot, they said, we're watching you. Yes, you can watch me all you want. Only thing you're going to be watching is a legal American citizen. I'm not going to show you. If we have to be illegal, you have to go 80 miles per hour. I noticed when I went 80 miles per hour down the highway through social media, nobody could keep up with me. They have cleaned up a little bit more, but as you can see across those individuals, we need to help these individuals. We got some trash here. It's got a little bit better because we cleared this area. And this trash needs to go too. So we have to recognize. What's up, buddy? I do like what they did with this because unfortunately homeless people live back there. I'm not saying they shouldn't live back there, but I'm saying that it's different when you're trying to save your mother or you're trying to raise money. It's an individual, he reached out to me. He said, my mom is sick. She's trying to get to the hospital. That's why you can always go to $$ and photography plug. But a person that's sticking needles up their arm, I mean, if you're doing that, you have became very dangerous because you'll do anything for that drug. If we ever cleaned up Skid Row, my friends, many people would lose their lives because they see a drug addicted person would do anything for that drug. So they'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal, they'll do anything for that narcotic. So that is just a reality of, what happens in this great American society. I want you today to treat this like a Monday. It is a Thursday. I'm not saying don't celebrate, don't party. We'll be going to some parties this weekend. You'll see us live there. It's a cookout, and it's I think Fabulous is coming with Fendi. Now, I'm not a Fabulous fan. I think he's a great artist, and he's underrated. But I will say They moved those to the end of the summer in August, but it is already July. It's the 10th. So let's keep in mind being that entity. You might not be positive or peaceful. People might see you as dangerous because there's a lot of danger out here. So the advice that I could give you this morning is that the future is moving forward. We can never go backwards. Guys, I was with a woman for over 20 some odd years, my friends. I was in a situation where I really never lost everything, but I lost a lot, but I gained so much more. Well, every bad situation, like I want to get one of those biscuits this morning. Of course it's good. These people treat me so good when I go in there. They love me so much. But it's not good for me to spend that money every single morning. Money has to sit in your bank for at least a week. I mean, how can we start saying, okay, we're going to save that 100, we're going to save 200, we're going to save 1,000, and next thing you know, if you find the right spouse, you can become one of the individuals that's worth a few $100,000. I'm not selling you a dream that you're going to be worth 50 million. It's not going to do the society. If one person is worth 50 million and everybody else is worth nothing, that doesn't help the society. We rather influence 100 people to be worth $100,000 than one person to be worth 50 million. How you doing, my friend? Hey, I like them Chuck Taylors. Cool shoes. So guys, I want you to keep that in mind, that all these companies are about capitalism. Not one of them are being 100% fair. Whether they're cheating their company out of buying rice, whether they're using the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, in Dubai, my friends. I might not can pronounce it right, but I did have the fortunate. I spent a few days, not even a few days, just a few hours in that country. And I went to go see the Burj Khalifa. And I went to another country close by, and I went to go see the slave camps that built these countries. They built the tallest building in the world. It wasn't built by a Muslim. It was built by those black Indians. This is a reality of how people get ahead in life. They're not 100% honest. The judge, now one thing I will say about any local judge, if you don't want to pay me the capitalism, just give me your robe. And I will hold that robe in collateral to move this country forward 100 steps. So if I face the judge, I say, Judge, do me a favor. I know you're not going to give me the capitalism today. Just give me your robe. Give me your robe. And I will hold that robe up and I'll advertise it to the world that America's moving forward, not backwards. Take your robe off. Give me your robe. Show me what's under your robe. And I'm sure it's just some boxers or trousers. Guys, we don't promote violence. This is what black media sounds like, smells like, and is actually what it is. So we can't be perfect. I can't bring you New York City every time. But one thing I can do is talking about capitalism. We can keep streaming. We're going to have all types of contests and things of more fun events to do. But right now, my friends, we're talking serious business, a very important business of an American business. This is a business. That's a business. These are businesses. Now, most of them don't want anything to do with black or brown people. And especially if you don't have the best suit to wear or the best tie or the best car. See, an individual thought, and we talked about this. Hello, my friends. Somebody just commented, hello, Brokey. That is a reality, my friends. We don't sell a dream. You could do anything. You could be broke today and a millionaire tomorrow. I greatly appreciate your positive attitude by commenting. Because the people that I had a friend, I'm going to tell you this story. I want you to listen closely because you might learn something. That was being flirtatious with my ex-wife, right? I had a friend that was being flirtatious with my ex-wife. And I don't know, maybe they hooked up. It doesn't matter to me. But a few weeks later, well, not a few weeks later, his daughter was trying to get, me to do a photo shoot for her. The point is, I actually blocked his daughter. The point is of the matter, don't ever think you're a player. Because your daughter, if she likes wonderful photos, and I take photos of celebrities, if I go get Kim Kardashian tomorrow, we already got Kim at the Met when she was in the Marilyn Monroe dress. You remember that? And I think we got over 20 some odd celebrities that year. So of course, your young daughter that's trying to be in the industry is going to reach out to me. This individual never liked one post. He never commented. Even I might have millions of people commenting. We have 1 million likes, 1 million shares, and 1 million comments on YouTube. By IG, we have a few million too. The point of the matter, my friend, the point of the matter is that he thought he was a player by reaching out to my wife, but your daughter is hitting me up in my DM trying to get up with me. So don't try to be a player when you're facing a Mac, because it's a whole different situation. I've done photo shoots with Bria Miles, Aisha Diaz, some of the most beautiful women in the world. So, they say Aisha Diaz is more beautiful than Beyonce. She knows me very well. Most of our videos is on YouTube. Aisha Diaz is in them. She knows me very well. Me and Aisha are very good friends. See, I'm not a person that's going to sit up here and cap, but I can cap, meaning I'm a real person. You never ask the officer, is he cap? Because he's cap. You never ask the district attorney, is it cap? Because it cap. You never ask a person that's fake, you cap. But you ask a real person, you say, oh, no, he's a real guy. Is he cap? So that's a lesson to be learned. You reach out to my wife, but your daughter, and your daughter is very beautiful. Now, I go by the laws. If she hits me up in a couple of years, you might see us in a hotel room in LA. That is the reality. By the time I'm 70-something years old, guys, the whole world would have been changed all over again. So, I had my kids when I was young. So, really, in essence, my friends, and they have a lot of good cars up here. If you ever want to buy a nice car, the Range Rover, I just wipe my car off when I just wiped my car off before I left my house. I made sure ain't no water on it. I make sure I take care of it. This is a nice Range. I mean, this is decent. It's older cars. But in the back, and I'm trying to get to work actually. So in the back, they do have Challengers of the sort, which they had some back here somewhere. But they're super nice. They hide those supercars so people won't break into them. They're more so in the back. Some of these cars, but the new Mustang is very nice. But remember that. This guy thinks he's a player trying to get at my wife, but his daughter, which his daughter is very beautiful. She's of age now. She wants to get up with the photography plug. So that's just a reality. Stop trying to be a Mac. Stop trying to be a player against a Mac. You got to understand the game, that if a person is getting traffic to his page, it's a reason. It's a very good reason, my friends. And remember, before we'll be going back live later on this evening. But remember, this is all about capitalism. Whatever's on the back of that truck, if you can get it off without anybody seeing you, this might as well be legal, right? But if they catch you, you might be going to jail. But We're always passing these trucks and looking in the back and saying, well, what's on there? Let's see. Because if he leaves that truck, we're gonna get it. Because we can't play the game fair. We can't play this game fair. We have to, in a sense, we have to look around and say, what else is out here that we can capitalize off of? Whatever it is. I think I was walking down the boulevard one time and I found a couple of $100, just a couple of hundred. I found 2,500 one time up under a bush. A diamond necklace. If you ever go to Atlanta, my friends, they party all night. You might come back through and there's a Rolex. I found a Rolex watch with a gold. So guys, it's about capitalism. It's about not following the rules 100%. Forget about that. And we don't promote violence or stealing or anything like that, but we're no fools. America has stole from brown and black people every day of their lives. Look at them, $9.15 for a pack of Newports. I'm glad I don't smoke Newports, my friends. But I'm about to run into this job real quick. They'll be very offended if I go live at the job. They'll be crying. And they'll be, oh my God, you're live. So I definitely don't want to offend anybody. And plus, it's hard to be streaming this long. So greatly appreciate everybody supporting the page this early in the morning. We will go back live later on this evening. Oh, this is my boss right here, Clark. I didn't expect it. Hey, Clark, how you doing, man? I'm about to sign in on the sheet, man. You okay? Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. See, that's how they find out. So that's actually one of my bosses right there, Clark. He didn't want to work me because these people drink on the job. I don't drink. But I will say one thing about Clark. He is a good individual, but his dress code is not that best. It's not the best. So obviously the gig's up. They know who I am. As I'm the photography plug, that is a reality. Greatly appreciate everybody. Y'all have a wonderful day. We'll be back live tonight. Please tune in tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight.